Hi, and good evening. Welcome back to my poker channel. My name is Pikdee. This is Pikdee Poker. I was weird about that name, how I got that name. I got that name by I was trying to find a username for poker, and all these names kept on getting picked all the time. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pick out this crazy name. And Pikdee just boom came up. It's like finally, I don't know. I was sitting there for a while, and then I finally got my username. So now I'm Pikdee like forever, except for GGPoker. I think once a year you can actually change it. So it was Pikdee at first, then I changed to Pikdee Poker. But on PokerStars, I'm just known as just Pikdee. Anyway, this is episode 3, and the title of this episode is Don't Give Up, Keep Grinding. That's right. When you're playing at the very lowest stakes, people are going to play all kinds of crazy hands, and you got to be able to sniff these little hands out. Range doesn't really count too much so much because you're going to see guys coming in with early under the gun. They're going to limp. They're going to call with something crazy, like maybe like a 7-4 offsuit or a 7-5 offsuit, something crazy like that. And sometimes they're going to win. That's poker. That's one thing about poker is you're not going to get away with winning at poker all the time. What actually leads to profit in poker is just making better decisions than our opponents. So what we need to do here is we need to throw on that seatbelt that stops us from calling when we know we're beat, like crying calls, chasing ridiculous draws, that kind of stuff. Just always calling down stuff. That's what actually leads to losses in poker, especially when you make a 3-bet call, and then you call on the turn. I mean the flop. You call on the turn, and then you fold on the river, right? So it's just like, oh, you're getting hit like twice. You're getting hit pre-flop, and you're getting hit post-flop. Like, oh my god. So that's why players lose a lot of money, and sometimes it's hard to lay down hands like the second best hand or a losing hand, especially when you think that someone's pushing you around at the tables. But anyway, this is episode 3, and we're cruising along. Excuse me. So from the last thing that we started was I'm always going to go from left to right all the time. So I started off this challenge with 20 bucks. That $20, that's not my money. That's bonus money that I was given. I pulled all my money off the site, and then now I'm playing on GG and just using this as a hobby. This is actually a hobby for me. I do most of my volume on PokerStars. That's why I have a PokerStars network on there as well. If I go bust on this thing, I'm just going to transfer it over to PokerStars because I'm not going to put any more money into GG Poker. I'm just going to try it, let it run, and then. But I'm not going to just give my money away, right? I'm actually going to play. I'm going to play poker. So, starting bankroll was $20. Our current bankroll right now is $28.64. That's our current bankroll right now, $28.64. We're up $8.64. We're still in the green, but we lost a lot of money, and I'll go over that real soon. Rake back for week 1 was $1.09, week 2 $2.40, and week 3 only 88 cents. Now I didn't play too much in week 3. I had so much stuff to do, so I didn't bother playing. Now we go up to back over here, going to Fish Buffet, and as you can see, I have only 88 cents right over here. I didn't play too many hands, and I'm still waiting to collect. I haven't collected yet for my rake back. Now, once you climb up to like the 10 and L, if you manage to get up to 2 and L, and there's not that much happening at the 5 and L on GGP, but if you do manage to get up to the 10 and L, what you want to do with that rake bag money is probably take it off the site, maybe and just at least have something for your time, and hopefully that you're breaking even and you're winning some money at that stake where you can actually take a little bit of money out from your profits per month and put some stuff aside and like maybe a little poker account or something that you have in your bank account. Open up another bank account, like a savings account or something. Just throw it in there, and then that'll help you grow. One thing that a lot of players learned from Black Friday was you do not keep a huge bankroll in your bank account, because in your poker account, because it could just everything just can just shut down. Or if you're a winning player, the chances are, I heard some stuff online and there's content and stuff, and players their funds are just whoosh, stopped, right? Like their account shut down because maybe they violated something or whatever, violations. So that's one of the things that you want to keep. You just want to basically just keep afloat, right? Maybe a 30 buy-in float from the stake that you play, and you fall below, and then just kind of just throw money in there and just keep it going, so you can keep playing that stake. But do not leave your entire bankroll on a poker site. That is learnt from previous mistakes. Now we're going to head on down to April 15th to the 21st. So we lost $3 this time. That's over here. April, our progress hands, 7,665 hands. We're behind 1,346 hands, so 2.5 sessions we're behind. I didn't play one day, and I just if you don't feel like playing poker, just don't play poker. You just don't do it. Don't do it. And we're in the negative, minus $14.67 this month. We made some money on our first week, $2.49. Then we punted it off, minus $15.31. That's a lot of money at the micro stakes, especially when you're playing a mid stack. On that, I'm actually going to change up some stuff. I'm actually going to start buying it for a full stack when I hit $60, just to make it run a little better. And then I'm going to do an aggressive stake jump up to 10 NL from $80. Buying in just for a little less, playing an even smaller stack, 40 by BBs or something. I'm trying to figure that way I can get going, right? And then as soon as I lose $20, I'm going to drop back down and then start grinding back up. Anyway, so April 15th to 20th, we only lost $2.98. So that was okay. I was like, whatever. So I kind of wish I was in the green, but the rakeback's definitely going to help. So if we take a look over here, we paid 1,873 hands. We were short about 1,127 hands, I think, or something. Played 38 sessions. Head over to our little graph here, and that's where we went down. Then we went back up, and went back down. We started climbing back out of the hole again. Now, if you look at the top right-hand corner there from January to March 2024, this actually happened in around 4,000 hands. We're up, and then we went on a downswing. Then we just jumped from like $2 or something like that, straight up to $26 or something like that. That's what's going to happen. That's how the graph actually works, right? You want to stop those losses, and like making better, like mistake-free poker. Try to get mistake-free poker and stop those losses. And then when you do have an upswing, your graph is going to start to shoot up, like you see it shooting up, right? So you want to try to stop those, stop giving your money away, but not laying down, being chicken. Like sometimes you're going to have to bluff catch, and sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're not. And sometimes you got to bet, and sometimes you know when not to bet, especially on different boards. Eventually, I'm going to, my first video I'm actually going to do is about tagging and note-taking. So that's probably going to be sometimes, probably the next couple of weeks or something. I'm still trying to master it myself right now. So if you ever want to learn something, teach it. That's how you get better. Teach it. Then you really know how much you really know about a certain subject. That's how I was when I used to coach broomball. Once I started coaching it, it's like, okay, I need to know this. I had to get better, like really, really fast, right? Because people know, like, especially when you're standing around, like, I don't think I know what I'm talking about. You know, like people know, like they can sniff it out, right? It's like I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about, man. Like I think we're on that. I think we hooked up our trailer to the wrong train or something, right? So select date. Let's go through. Um, this is the 15th. We only played 343 hands on this day. We lost 23 cents. Not too bad. And then the 16th came. We lost $6. We played 630 hands. 11 sessions. It's like I think that's probably why I got off. I was trying to make a little more of a. I was trying to make up for the day before for the 15th. So I get a little extra hands. I just ran into some bad hands and stuff and whatever. You know, that's poker. And then 17th came along and boom, eh? Like yes, it's $3. Woohoo! Yes, everybody's having fun now. Hopefully everything just starts to level out. But on the 18th, I didn't play anything on the 18th. I was like, you know what, I don't feel like playing poker today. I'm just gonna. I did some studying, a lot of studying, and then that was it. And I just chilled out, just did some other stuff. When you don't want to, when one of the things that you don't want to do is play poker when you don't feel like playing poker, because if you don't have a solid foundation of your strategy, and then you're just going to be like not paying attention. You're not going to be there. You're not focused. You're probably multi-tabling too, depending on your site. You know, if you're making all the mistakes on one table, imagine making all these mistakes on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables, right? When you're not really focused, when you don't really like play. It's almost like a tilt, right? But a softer tilt, right? You're just putting the plane in freaking autopilot or something, right? It's not all there. Like you're just not playing there. And like this one movie I was watching, I think I mentioned this before, where no matter what's happening to the plane, don't ever stop flying the plane. Meaning, you know, if you're crashing or something bad's happening, don't stop flying the plane. And the same thing with poker. Don't stop playing poker, man. If you're sitting there, you're playing. Don't stop playing your strategy. Just keep playing. If you don't feel like playing, don't play. Right? You're just gonna bleed money. If you notice you're on tilt, stop playing. That's how I got that minus $15.31. I just boom, like I just lost it. Right? It's just like that's why wow, it's crazy. Anyway, so the 19th, we lost $1.20. That's one buy-in. A 60 PB buy-in. Played 549 hands, still trying to make up, but I was like, okay, I think I'm done for today. And then we won $1.36. We only played 184 hands yesterday. I was just too busy doing stuff, and then I thought I was going to come back in the evening time and play another session, but I didn't. I only played 6 sessions on that day. I think that's like 6 tables. So that's what we did on this for week 3. Now let's head on over to the tables here, and I think I got 9 hands for you. Actually, I'm actually getting better at this now. It's like only 13 minutes, right? So here we go. Now we're knuckling down with the hands. Eventually, you know, once I started making some, when there's less stuff, because when there's less stuff, losing hands and stuff like that, I'll start throwing in some winning hands. Maybe I'll even them out a little bit and try to make it a little more comical or whatever, you know. I'm still trying to figure out my game commentary, I guess. Yeah. So now it's just working out the bugs, trying to get better. So here we are sitting in the big blind, 8-9 offsuit, facing villain with pocket queens. And we're also in the 2-L, so you're going to find a lot of limpers. That's all normal. And the guy limps in, pocket queens. I'm guessing what this guy was probably hoping for was someone was going to raise from the blinds. But nobody does, right? So it goes in, we got top pair. There's a flush draw on board. Backdoor draws. Basically, it's probably like right in between a wet and a dry board. I would probably consider this not too dry, maybe towards wet because there's just so many players, right, in the pot. Like you really need a strong hand. Someone has a deuce. Someone could have a deuce here, right? Or just anybody could have anything. This is the micro stakes, man. Someone could be in 2-3, right? 4 deuce. So I represent something. I bet 3/4 pot, and I get a call, and then we get another call. And then the 3-way now going into the turn. Whoever was doing some kind of crazy draw, like some kind of runner draw, 5 helped them. So we bet 3/4 pot. I think it was like 67% pot. 8 comes in, giving us 2 pair, but we're counterfeited. If there is an overpair, we're counterfeited. So that's not good. So I shove all in, thinking the flush here missed, because the way this guy here played his hand, there's no way I put this guy on queens, right? Just the way he played the hand, like it just limps, and then floating all the way to the end. Maybe he just knew me well enough to know that I was just gonna bet anyway, right? He just gave me more rope, and then it worked. That would have been awesome though if I actually had a 6-7 or a deuce. Anyway, next hand, that's a dollar 10 loss. Sitting in big on the big blind again. Look at that. Okay, so we got pocket queens. See, limping, right? So we got our first 3-bet. I mean 2-bet. Now we got 3-bet. This is probably where I probably should have folded. Right now we're going into a cold 4-bet. I think it's cold 4-bet. I shove with my ace queen, and he rips it in right behind me. He's got jacks. I'm looking good, like come on, no jack, and then the jack comes and boom. That's it. Got cooler there. That's poker. I mean, I can win all the time, right? Alright, where are we now? Okay, we're sitting in the big blind. These are all big blind ones. Okay, he opens. I shove, hoping that this guy, I was actually hoping, I thought this guy was stealing, and this guy was just floating for whatever reason, like just to protect a little bit, whatever. And I thought I would just pick up the pot, right, with a shove. And obviously that was not the case. They both come along for the ride, right? Going in, and then 3 comes in, no pairs, just boom, boom. Now, this probably could have been a little bit better if I would have probably just would have just called. But you don't want to be calling, like you don't want to be calling, man. Maybe a raise probably would have helped me there, because this guy probably would have shoved all in, and this guy would have called, and then I probably could have laid it down pre-flop. Who knows what would have happened? You never know. That's done. So we're sitting there with ace king on the button now. And then that's good. You know, we do our 3-bet. We get called, and then squeeze them out. Queen 3-3, dry board. Checks it over to me, and I bet 1/3 pot. He calls. Huh? How much has really changed? Really? You're thinking about his range. Don't really be thinking about ranges too much on the 2 and L, because people are all over the place. 1/3 pot again. He calls, and I only have 53 cents left. No straights got there, no flush got there. The only thing happens is a queen. I could have the best hand here, right? Like he could have like king jack, maybe something. I don't know what the heck this guy's calling with. Maybe a pocket pair or something. He checks it over to me. I should have just checked it back. This is what I should have just checked it back, right? Realize my equity with my ace king kicker, but I didn't. I rip it in, and then he calls, and then I get the bad news. Now I'm sitting in the small blind this time. Ace jack comes in. Okay, yeah, we raise. Set. That's good. It's good. Ooh. Top two pair. Draw heavy board. It's a very wet board. Draw heavy. And it kind of fits his range, like in a, you know, it's what is it, a cutoff, 5-way. He could have, you know, some tens, jacks in his range, maybe an ace X, something, something maybe jack queen, or king queen. Anyway, could even have like 9-8s, 9-7s, that kind of stuff. Maybe pockets, small pockets. But I've seen where, you know, guys don't even raise with pocket kings and pocket aces. Man, I came to the showdown, got freaking aces. Like, what the heck? You didn't even raise that. So I check, and then I let him bet. Right? Okay, let him bet. So I shove it all in, and then he rips it in behind me. And then it goes. I didn't hit any runner. I needed an ace or a jack, man. And then he already flopped straight. Like, oh, what are you gonna do? Well, what are you gonna do? All right, here we go. So now we got aces. All right, here we go, man. Let's go. We're ready to go to town, right? We got $1.30. This guy's $2.62. We're gonna double up here. Come on, let's go, man. So I'm bringing 3-bet him. Fucking guy comes. Well, at least he's coming in raising, right? He's not limping. So he calls me. All right, here we go. This kind of, this flopper here kind of hits like a small blind and big blind defend. Kind of hits that range. Kind of hits both our range as well. But because I raised, he's not gonna put me on 4-8-3. He's gonna probably put me on something a little bit higher. He opened, and then I gotta put him on something, you know, like something like some kind of friggin' whatever, right? Not too much junk, but something. He checks it over to me. I bet half pot. And then he calls, and then the king comes, so he hits his flush. He checks it over to me, 98 cents, I have 96 cents behind. I bet half pot. I keep the pressure on him. He just calls. No, now he rips it in. I'm like, he has it, but I do have some outs, right? I do have the nut flush draw, and I'm not folding now, right? I'm not folding now. What I probably should have did was I probably should have just checked it back and then see. That's probably what I should have did there. And I would have stayed myself like just a buy-in. But I didn't. I rip it in behind him, and then the bad news comes. No heart. So that was a mistake. You know, I should have just, you know, checked it behind and just checked. See what was the next card. So we're sitting in pocket with back pocket jacks. We open, limper. That's what you're going to see at the micros, man. Limping, lots of limping. And then we get 3-bet. And this guy here shoves all in, like, oh my god. I should have put at least one of these guys, or maybe aces, kings, queens, or something, right? But I rip it in two, and then he calls. Like, oh my god, come on. You know, I'm praying, right? I'm praying. Come on, no freaking diamond's not going to help me. No ace, no queen. And then, and that's it. One of those hands. All right, so we're sitting at Queen King 9. We got our limper, and then we decide to open. Actually, he's not a limper; he's the big blind. Sorry. And then they both come along for the ride. Now we got top pair. Okay, this kind of hits their range. Well, we're not really playing in ranges too much at the micros. You can though. So I bet 3/4 pot, and then he raises me. I've actually laid down aces when I have someone tagged and noted. If they're a passive player, I'll lay it down, man. Especially when a thing comes like this. They probably have two pair or something because they never play back, right? They only play back with the nuts. You know, when they really have a hand, so I'm gonna lay it down. It hurts, but you know that's So I re-raise them to see where I'm at. So we see where I'm at. Then he shoves in. I should have just let it go here. That's probably where I probably should have let it go as soon as he shoved in. Probably knew I was beat. And then it runs out, and you overkill. Full house over top pair, second kicker, and that's it. That's the tail of the take right there. So if you want to see more of these videos, please like, subscribe to my channel. Eventually, I will be playing at higher stakes eventually, but it's just grinding out. This is just a recreational poker site. I mean poker channel for YouTube, something to help me grow, and then something to do maybe if I want to go a little more. If I do go a little bit higher, I'll be able to be a little more comfortable in front of a camera, right? So that's what this is all about. Breeding out those things, learning new stuff. Eventually I'll start playing on Twitch, all these other things. But right now I'm just going to focus on this kind of stuff. See if I can build some followers. And maybe I'll get 50 subscribers one day and I'll be able to actually play live a session. So please like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week.